All right, guys, welcome to the Closing Bell Breakdown, episode one. Today, we're going to be covering ASNS, which ran from 20 cents to 72 cents overnight. That's a 260% move from the original alert. Now, after that MOBX run yesterday, massive run, momentum quickly rotated into pennies under 30 cents. So that puts a bunch of stocks under 30 cents under my radar. Now, while I was scanning around 11:30 a.m. EST yesterday, I noticed ASNS was being loaded in very small increments right before the alert, right before I decided to alert it. So let's quickly zoom, and I'll mark that off right here. At this point, I was like, okay, someone's loading this. Very small amount of shares, but still, it puts it on my radar. Quickly take a look at the daily chart up top, and that's where things really came into perspective. So that's what we're going to be diving in real quick. Now, let's go. Let's keep focus on the daily chart real quick. The stock had been basing for weeks, and it started to curl, which often signals a potential reversal. More importantly, that 20 cent was the key breakout level. Once that level broke out, there was room for a fast expansion move. So I posted the alert in the Discord around 11:30 EST yesterday, and took a starter position right away. So the stock, it stayed quiet most of the day after that with some loading here and there. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit to kind of show you how it went after hours. Now, in after hours, it quickly broke through 20 cents, giving entries roughly under 22. So if you were late on that 20 cent alert, you still had time to kind of, assess your situation and take a position under 22 for a while. At that point, the stock quickly ran to about 35 cents. That's already a very strong expansion move. And at this point, it was obvious book half profits scenario. But the key signal was volume expansion. Now, that's what turned ASNS into a strong overnight continuation candidate. If you remember the message that I sent out in Discord yesterday in the after hours, that guys, this I'm pretty much pounding the table here. This is my overnight position. And now let's quickly see how it went today in pre-market. In pre-market today, momentum continued and the stock pushed towards 53 cents right here. And we'll quickly mark that off. There it is. Now, from the original 20 cent ads, that was already about, I would say, 160% move before the open. And at that, at this moment, I secured more gains. I sent out a message ASAP in the Discord. I was like, hey guys, this is already above 40, which was our initial target, and it already been achieved. So I'm booking a massive chunk here. Now, at the open, that's where the momentum really continued. ASNS expanded all the way to about 72 cents right here. That's 260% from the original alert. Technically, the move began slowing once it pushed into the large resistance gap towards one that you see right here. So I'll zoom out and I'll show that to you real quick. This is the gap. This is a big resistance gap, and it pushed right into it and rejected it. So that's a big sign that hey, this move is probably going to be slowing down for the day. Now, I'm not going to say that hey, this might not continue tomorrow or for the rest of the week, but at this point where it was at 20 to 72 cents, that's like, hey, you ideally want to have just runners left at that point. Now, like I said, this is where the expansion started to cool off. Now, here's, three things why basically the setup worked. Now, daily curl pattern showing early reversal structure right here. Number two, I would say the clean breakout trigger of 20, which had been a massive resistance point recently from the recent closes. And the third, the momentum theme that pushed all these pennies, which was the original MOBX run that happened yesterday, a massive run, putting, low flow pennies under 30 cents in focus. So once you start to identify these themes, you often get multiple opportunities like this, like ASNS. And even right now, while the after hour scanners and the market is running on the other monitor, I noticed that there's a lot of stocks under 30 that are getting attention. But I'm not taking a position right away in any of those at the moment. It's just that when we get a massive runner like this, I like to, take a step back and analyze and assess where I am at the moment. How are my profits looking? If it's worth, stressing out, taking another position, doing another technical analysis, or just, being done for the day. And I prefer being done for the day after, you have a massive 200%, 300% runner like ASNS or MOBX. Now, hopefully, this gives you a better idea of the thought process behind these alerts that are posted daily in the Discord. It's mainly about structure, trigger levels, and the general market themes. Now, this was the closing bell episode one ASNS. I'll be doing more of these daily, breaking down a stock of the day and the strategy behind it. And I'll see you tomorrow.